welcome everyone, and first recognize the family that has driven in from several places. First, Miss Shelton had the shortest drive, Aline Shelton. She's of Redland. Cindy and Ricky Stout of Edmond. Scott Shelton, Oklahoma City. Monty Shelton of Luther, and two sons that are not able to be here today. Van and Eugene live in Amarillo, so maybe y'all can send them a lot of pictures today. But we want to welcome the family and all the...
Ted, one more brother, Tyson.
Tyson. Okay, Tyson, I apologize. I was trying to get all the names together. And you're from?
Ada.
Ada, okay. All right. Very large family, as you can see, and had a lot of influence not only on this ball field, but throughout this entire community. And we appreciate every one of them coming. I want to say a big thank you first to two people that have made this event possible. First to Tim Parker. Tim came to the school board with the ideal of how about renaming the field in honor of Mr. Shelton, and the board said sounds like a wonderful idea. And also to Randy Johnson. Where's Randy? There he is. And Randy, I think they kind of co-teamed up on this thing about having the field named and dedicated after Mr. Shelton, and have been busy on trying to get a gateway in his honor, which is started here on the rear. But like all things, they don't always come together when you're depending upon other companies to do some work for you as far as the lettering goes. We invite you to come back, but the gateway will be finished in a matter of a few days. That will have Mr. Shelton's name up there. It will be EE Shelton Field. And it's my honor to introduce today Dr. Derek City.
I really am at a loss why Ted called me, because there's about 150 other people that would be more qualified to do this than me. But I'll tell you what, and I told Tim this a little earlier today, I will take this responsibility on in recognition of a lot of other guys like me that were at this field from really about the time it was built. I think it probably came into existence around 70, 71, somewhere in that range, give or take. And my family moved back here from elsewhere in Oklahoma in 1971, I believe it was. So kind of got in this place as an 11-year-old. I'm 51 now, so it's been a while. And I got in this place on the ground floor. And I can tell you that EE Shelton was a big part of that from day one, along with a lot of other folks in the community. But EE was there throughout my entire experience here, not only with the Little League, the Pony League, and high school, and on the things we did as adults here at the field, playing softball and so forth. But he was a big part of my life anyway. I have great memories of this little patch of land here. I have great friendships to this day. Some of the guys here are lifelong friends, and will be, as long as I live. And based on, when you first meet them here at this piece of little patch of property, EE was when I think about his life and my time with him and the community's involvement with him, I can't imagine a guy more dedicated to the community. I know that he was a part of the volunteer. He was a volunteer in the sheriff's department for a period of time. Very, very active in his church, very active in his family's life. Of course, very active here at the ballpark, and he also took a great deal of interest in one of the other community initiatives, which is the cemetery across the way, which we all take a lot of pride in taking care of for our ancestors. He was involved in just about every aspect of the community, but he was also, again, that role model for me. I got a lot of great advice from him over the years, and when the store was at a different location, I spent thousands of hours at the Spit and Willow Club, as we called it, just kind of hanging out down with EE and his family and just visiting and talking. It was just a great place to be as a kid. I did see Mr. Shelton I think it was about a year before he passed away. And in life, sometimes we don't get a chance to tell people how big an impact that they are and how much of an impact they have on your life. And I did get an opportunity to tell Mr. Shelton that day that I really appreciated him and everything he'd ever done for me in my life. And I'm trying not to do it right now, but I did get a little bit emotional that day. And just like when I was 11 years old, even though he was a man facing illness, facing a very catastrophic situation that his family had to deal with, he patted me on the shoulder to my brother that Tim and Randy had come forward with the idea of the school board about naming the ballpark after Mr. Shelton. I tell you, the first word that popped in my head was perfect. In fact, that's what I told my brother, that's perfect. I can't imagine honoring a more worthy person than EE Shelton naming this ballpark after him, because he's woven into every fiber that makes up this ballpark. All those different years, he was a big part of what took place down here. They had a vision along with other folks in the community about what they wanted to do, and he made that vision happen.
And I have a poem here that Curtis, my son, wrote for him in August of '09, and I read this at Shelton's funeral, and I'd like to read it again because Curtis wrote it for Shelton. The title of it is The Man Behind the Plate. As any child growing up playing Redland baseball, the day would come you'd be standing in the box, waiting to hear your call. It might have been a strike or maybe a ball. No matter the outcome, it was never wrong. From T-ball to Pony League, from Haworth to Smithville. When you came to Redland, you were in for a thrill. No matter who was playing or whatever the date, you could always count on the man behind the plate. This was a man who had a love for the game, and he would teach you no matter your name. He would work on this field till the sky began to darken. And then when it came game time, it looked like a freshly manicured garden. When the man behind the plate said, "Play ball," that meant it was time to do battle for us all. See, the man behind the plate, Shelton was his name, and of all the sports out there, baseball was his game. Here is a man that loved his life for fastballs and curves. His faith in God taught him that he'd have to sometimes swerve. Even though his last curveball, he did battle for a while. God went ahead and made a call of his own and said, "You're safe." And for that there is no denial. So even though God took Shelton from our team so that he could be on his own team, the next time you're out at EE Shelton Field, take a moment to remember the man behind the plate. He loved your family.
I've been elected. Since I wasn't the athletic one, I get to talk. Thank you so much, Derek. We really appreciate, the family really appreciates your words. They're very touching. Thank you. I remember, obviously, from the time I was this tall out here, trying to pick roots up when they first cleared this spot out here in the middle of the National Forest. And I remember telling people after I was in college that we had a baseball field in the National Forest, and they thought that was the neatest thing they'd ever heard. We are, the family, we're just so honored that you're all here today. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. I know that obviously, my dad, I think, is the greatest man ever other than Jesus Christ. But I know he touched a lot of people here, and thank you so much for being here and sharing this time. I know that it's a great honor for us, and I wish he could be here today to hear your words, but I know he's looking down from heaven and he's saying, y'all quit that and go play ball. So, thank you.